Welcome back, beautiful. This is our second video inside of Module 4. And now we're going to actually look at that grounding in truth so that you are no longer operating from a place of reassurance seeking. So, what is it that reassurance seeking does to you neurologically? I want to look at that with you really quickly. Um, Temporarily, it calms your nervous system. Now, I hope you caught that. It temporarily calms your nervous system, but it also reinforces dependency and increases long-term anxiety. Why is that? Well, reassurance never sticks. You're always going to be seeking it. You're always going to be going to somebody to make sure that I'm okay, things are okay. But what you're doing is you're not grounding yourself in truth. You're actually giving control over to someone else. You are basing your safety, your security, your stability based upon what someone else is saying. You're actually giving them that control over your life, and that's not healthy. So let's look at what grounding in truth actually does for you, because that's where I really want you to land. Grounding in truth actually calms your vagus nerve. Remember, the vagus nerve is that large nerve that runs from your brain all the way down to your gut. It's the largest nerve in your body. And when we are dysregulated, boy, it tightens up like a tightrope. And you need it calm. Now, if you're constantly reassurance seeking and you're basing that safe feeling based upon what someone else says, then that vagus nerve is never going to get calm. It's going to be like a rubber band. It's going to be tight and it's going to spring back, tight and spring back, based upon what someone tells you. But what your vagus nerve actually needs is it needs to be calm and regulated and relaxed because it affects your brain, it affects your immune system, it affects your nervous system, your endocrine system, it affects everything in your body, your brain health, your gut health. So we need that thing regulated. Grounding in truth also brings the brain back online. Remember, when we are reassurance seeking, we're operating from a place of interrogation sometimes, or, based upon what somebody's saying, we're going to feel better, right? So, what that does to us is it keeps us in this yo yo effect. We're never ever going to feel safe, secure, and stable for a long period of time. It's going to wax and wane. Well, that means that your amygdala, that part of the brain that's always scanning for danger, was going to stay on 24/7. It's going to continue to look everywhere and to see when's the next shoe going to drop. But when you're grounding yourself in truth, this allows that prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain that has logic and reasoning in it, to come back online and to operate effectively. Grounding in truth also helps to restore your internal sense of safety, security, and stability. And you need that. So, biblically, grounding is what's called abiding, not striving, but abiding. So, we're told in Isaiah 26:3, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. When we are grounding ourselves in trusting God, when our mind is set there, we will receive that perfect peace. We are also told to be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10. So calm yourself, be still, take a pause, and just allow God's peace to come and just wash over you. Now, there are some truth grounding practices for your body, brain, and spirit that I'd like to run you through quickly so that you have these to actually pull upon. You do have a handout, it's a timeout handout that's got some breathing exercises to help keep you grounded. Make sure you download those, you use your somatics, all of these things. Everything I'm giving you will help you tremendously. But the number one thing is prayer. to go to God in prayer to seek his face always. That is the number one thing that you do. Now, step number 2 is to regulate your body. So you go to God in prayer, you say, I need you. If all you can say is Jesus, that's okay. Then your second step would be to seek to regulate your body. Because remember, you can't talk yourself out of dysregulation. You just can't do it. So what you're going to do before anything else is you're going to place your feet on the floor, hopefully barefooted, so you can have your toes feel the floor underneath you. You're going to take 5 slow, deep breaths in. You're going to inhale through your nose, and you're going to exhale through your mouth. Now, when you take that deep breath in, you can count into a count of 4 and exhale to a count of 6. That way you're getting all of that carbon dioxide out. Okay? This signals safety to your nervous system. And we are told in Psalm 34:18, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted. So while you are breathing in and out, quote that scripture. Quote that scripture. Again, it will signal to your nervous system that you are safe. Here's your next step, step 3. Name the emotion that you're feeling. So ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Am I feeling fear? Is it grief, anger, panic? What is it that I'm feeling? And where am I feeling it? Am I feeling it in my stomach, my chest, my back, my shoulders, my neck, my head? And what am I afraid will happen if I don't ask myself these questions, if I don't push forward and see what's really going on here? What am I afraid of here? What am I really afraid of? Okay? So naming the emotion, figuring out what it is, where you're feeling it in your body, and deciding what is making you fearful actually reduces amygdala activation. In other words, it allows that logical part of your brain to come back online. Psalm 62:8 tells us to pour your heart out before the Lord. And this is what you are doing here. Lord, what am I feeling? Help me figure this out. Help me figure out what I'm afraid of, where I'm feeling this right now, so that I don't have to carry this anymore, so I can work through it. Now, here's your next step. Anchor in the known truth. What is known to be true? Now, you can write this or you can speak it out. Now, you're going to write the questions and then answer them. What facts do I already know right now? What are those? What are those facts? What patterns have I observed over time? And what boundaries protect me right now? You see, those 3 questions will help you to anchor in truth. Truth that is known in this present time. And truth is built over time, not in moments. And remember this, beautiful. Matthew 7:16 tells us that by their fruit you will recognize them. So when we ask ourselves these questions and we answer with the known truth, what is actually taking place in the present moment, we'll see the truth fruit that is being produced. And it can anchor us and tell us what we need to do. Your next step is to discern the question. If you're wanting to ask a question, then you need to discern the question before you ask it. In other words, if you need to ask your spouse something, discern what you're asking before you go there. How can you do this? Well, you can ask yourself these 3 questions. Is this question about wisdom or is it about relief? Which one is it? If you are seeking truth, if you're seeking to be grounded in truth, then it's about wisdom. But if you're seeking reassurance, it's about relief. You need to discern that. Next question is, does it protect my safety or just soothe my anxiety? And the next one, can this wait 24 hours? Sometimes the best thing to do is to have a little bit of a timeout because time restores clarity. And we need clarity when we are seeking to discern certain things. Proverbs 21:5 reminds us the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. So plan this out, be diligent in it, so that you can have the correct harvest that you're seeking. Not one that's temporary, but one that's grounded in truth. Now, here's your last step. Rebuild trust with yourself. Remember, betrayal fractures self-trust, but healing restores it. Now, you're learning these things. You're learning how to trust your discernment. You're learning your body signals. You're learning to trust God's ongoing revelation. Seek to spend time here and to really just trust, okay? Trust that if you make a wrong turn and you're really seeking God first, He'll redirect you. He will. My sheep hear my voice, John 10:27 tells us. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken, Psalm 125:1. Beautiful, remember that discernment is quiet, not loud and chaotic. Truth is steady. It's not a wind that's tossed to and fro. And peace does not come from perfect certainty, but from grounded trust. You're not losing control as long as you are taking a pause and responding appropriately. You are strengthening your mind, calming your body, and anchoring your heart in truth. This is what true healing looks like. This is where you operate from. So go back, utilize some of these steps, use your somatics, use these breathing exercises, journal, pray to God, and make sure that you're operating from the places that bring you health and healing, not chaos. Be blessed.